hold on. Okay.
Hi, hello. My name is Thomas Lauderdale, and I am the band leader of Pink Martini. Is that good?
That was great.
I mean, the idea is to play and perform beautiful songs, and to inspire people, and to comfort them, and to help them fall in love, or help them go through a divorce, or have a baby, or vacuum. The idea that you could be a really conservative person and love the band, and also be completely raving liberal. You could be old or tiny. You could be a dog. You could be any number of things. There are very few intergenerational activities in our country. People don't gather around the piano and sing anymore. I mean, these are the sort of like tragedies of modern America. When I was a child, growing up in Indiana, there was always, I loved going to sleep in the same room as my brothers and sister, listening to my parents who were entertaining their friends downstairs, and the sort of sound of raucous laughter would drift up. It was very comforting and calming, and made me feel very safe and good. And I think that in some ways the band is an extension of that idea of creating sort of safe spaces for people to blossom and feel safe and cozy and be inspired to do their thing when they wake up in the morning.
A world designed for you and me.
When we recorded the first album, I don't think there was never even any discussion about let's take it to a label and see if they'll buy it. I just sort of inherently knew that well, first of all, probably nobody would buy it. No label would have really picked it up. And second of all, I didn't really want to hand over something that I loved so much to somebody else to make a marketing decision. So we released it on a label named after my dog, Heinz. The first album was really simple because nobody was paying attention, including the band. Like, I could just work quietly by myself with the technician and kind of craft it and just do it. So nobody really took it, I mean, people took it seriously. The band members took it seriously, Trina took it seriously, but not that, I mean, it wasn't like, this is it, we've got to get it right. It was just, it was relaxed and fun. But then it was successful. Suddenly there was an expectation that we were going to write all the songs on our second album, and that it would be as good as the first, which is really, it's hard to compete with Ravel's Bolero, Que Sera Sera by Jay Livingston and Ray Evans, and Amato Mio by Doris Fisher and Alan Roberts. And if you're trying to write 12 songs, each which are different and jewels, the first album it presents 500 years of songwriting from all around the world. I'm from Portland, Oregon. At the time I was 31 when I started working on the second album, mostly a classical pianist. So it was a bit of a stretch and a lot of pressure. The way through it was to collaborate with different people, friends that I've met through the years, Alba Clemente, who speaks Italian, or my friend Patrick Abbey, who's a painter, on a song about a tomato, which, he loves those Life magazines from the 50s and 60s, and we found this advertisement for Hunt's ketchup in a 1964 issue of Life magazine. It says, hang on little tomato, stay on the vine until you're fat and juicy, then we'll pluck you and boil you in secret bubbling spices and turn you into ketchup. And so it's hopeful and sinister simultaneously. And both of us really found that to be really funny. I mostly write with Trina Forbes. Both of us grew up studying different languages, and she's so good at language. Her voice is so, it soars, but it's not unattainable. Like, it's accessible. You can make it with your own voice. You can hear how to make those ama or ama, do mio. And then the next album, the third one, I was really determined to show that I could do it in a short amount of time. So we raced through it and released it in a couple of years. And now we're in the midst of the fourth album, which is actually, it feels more like the first in a way, because I love it. I love everything that we've done so far. And it's organically fun, and I love it. And I can tell that it's going to be good. And I've never been able to say that about album number 2 or album number 3. But I think that album number 4 is really, it's going to be fun. I look around sometimes when the band is sort of performing someplace, Turkey or like outdoors in France or the Hollywood Bowl, or just on a plane someplace, and I think we've been amazingly fortunate. There's so many doubts along the way, sort of like, I don't know if it's all going to work out. I'm just kind of going with what I want from day to day and what I'm hoping for. And like, I never had a thought ever, this could be an international superstar band. It's not anything I ever thought about. And that's a good thing that I didn't think about any of that stuff, because it would have been too distracting, and then I would have been positioning things too much. And I feel like that what's made really the band work is to kind of just do whatever is in front of it. You do it sort of like in steps, and you like work and fail and rework it, and then fail again, and then rework it, and hopefully something works at some point. It's partially luck. It's sort of like the right set of circumstances and the right people who encourage you have to be kind of around. You gotta have a posse, really. And with the posse, then like, you know, it's just better. More people to talk to. And when something great happens, like, you know, it's great to be able to share it with other people. And that's the advantage of being in a band which is so large versus if there were 3 of us. That'd be sadder. It's an international old-fashioned band. It's better to say 62 United Nations. More romantic, right? In terms of reaching people who don't necessarily know they want to go out or weren't aware that they should go out, one has to go to them. At various times, depending on what kind of mood I'm in or what the political climate is, the band still remains political. The band is really committed to progressive politics, and we continue to do fundraisers for affordable housing, civil rights, libraries, bicycles, and these things are, I think, very much important to the members of the band. And when we would travel, especially during the Bush administration, I felt like it was a really great thing to be present as an American band, singing songs in Arabic, singing songs in French, singing songs in Turkish, Greek. I think there was a period of time in American pop music where certain singers did sing a lot in different languages, Connie Francis probably being the best example of that. Certainly, the concept of learning yet another language has dissipated, I think. And for me, growing up in a multicultural household, and then also just realizing that the world is big and wonderful, and there's all this great music in different languages. That's another thing that I've learned about the band is that, or about life, is that all of those things that are sort of like interconnected, it is all interconnected. And so it doesn't surprise me when I'm sort of like in a random place, in the random part of the world, and go down the street and suddenly turn the corner and there is somebody that I know. I mean, it's just sort of the world. I think the world is really amazing that way, or can be, especially if you're open to it. Then I think about sort of all the streets that I didn't go down and wonder if I should have gone down those, because there were more. But I think, that happens a lot. And it's just a good reminder to be out on the street and participating in the world. I think the challenge right now in modern culture and modern America, of course, is to have the strength and the curiosity and the energy to be out in the world and to risk it all every day. I mean, it's kind of a cliche, but then again, like, what is there to lose?
Does any of this ring a bell, Eugene?